Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Good morning, everybody. Today we have a very rainy day out today. It's supposed to be raining all day long, like a 100% chance. So we've got a bunch of odds and ends to do today that we would like to share with you. So we decided this morning I wanted to weigh up all the horses, and we've already put 4 of them on, as you can see. Bill is running about the same amount of weight. Is that right?
What?
This is 1760, not 1660?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's great. So Bill's heavier than I thought. So he has gained quite a lot of weight. Ken actually gained a little bit of weight. Down here with Duke, he has lost a tiny little bit of weight. And Lady has gained weight. So that's good. As you can see over here, we have kind of a congested area here where we're dealing with. And this is one reason why Duke has actually lost probably a little bit of weight. I actually logged with him all day long yesterday with Bill. And it's just so nice to be able to back the cart in here and leave it here on these rainy days, just so we can not have to get, take everything off because it's going to get wet. Anyways, I'm going to go clean the barns and I will show you a few things that's going on today. Okay, so we are in the fillies stall. And what I've been doing lately is I will actually, before I clean them out, which you can see there's quite a lot of manure here for one night, but these gals want to get out of here. But before I clean them out, I got 2 extra stalls now, so I'm going to be able to take these 2 fillies to the other bigger stalls so that Brenda can brush them in the bigger stalls. We've been having a little bit of troubles with these guys, although they're getting better, but they don't like to push over very good, so we're working on that. Even Bree, who has had a lot of practice last year, she is feeling pretty good, and she's likes to shove back and forth. June, on the other hand, is kind of nervous horse, and she is not swinging that great side to side either, although she is getting better. When you push on a horse like this, their first tendency is to want to push against you. Well, that's what we have to train out of them. So we have to train them so that when I touch them like this, they slide their butts over so that we can come in here. And this is what we're working on. But it's not that hard to do, but they do tend to push against you sometimes when you want them to swing back and forth. So having the bigger stalls like we have over there will make it easier for us and easier for Brenda to deal with them, so that she's less apt to get squished against one of the sidewalls. So I'm going to take these girls out, let them drink their water, and then put them in the other stalls. And then I'll get the skid steer and clean this barn out. As you can see, it rained really hard, and water, when it does this, actually comes into the barn and runs through the barn, and it makes a real mess. This is not something I really enjoy showing you, my dirty barn, but it's just life, it's just the way it is. I'm going to let June out also so she can drink. Bree, get a drink. So June is doing quite well as far as backing out of her stall. Sometimes I'll lead her all the way to the water tub. Sometimes I just let her go. It just depends. When they get into a habit, they're great about just doing sort of the same thing all over again. When they go to the water tub, June almost always goes to that side to drink. And that's good. So now, as soon as they're done drinking, I'll put them in their stalls, and Brenda can do some brushing on them. And then I can clean the barns. Oops. Oops. You done? Yeah, I see that. That's where she's been going. Oops. Oops. See how June even just now shoved against me? that's something that we've just got to work on, Oop. It's amazing how nervous she is, but she will get over that with a little bit more work. Bree, get over. Get her. Get her. Get over. Hey. Hey. Get over. Get over. Get over there. No. You know, the secret with these guys is just to stay calm and have patience with them, and then they'll eventually be fine. So as you guys can see, it's still raining. I wanted to show you one of the things I'm working on, though. A few of the things I'm working on. So here in front of us is just a big old wagon full of slab wood. There's 6 bundles of slabs on there. That is for one of our neighbors. He'll come over with his tractor and tow that back to his farm. But this is my people hauler. What do you guys think? Think you'd enjoy a ride on this people hauler? So obviously was in some need of some repairs, which hasn't happened yet. But I decided to take the walls and the seats completely off of it, and we'll throw all this into the burn pile. And as you can see, it has some nice steps going up onto the floor. And I won't bother telling you any more about what I'm going to do to fix it up, but I hope to get it into the sawmill building today on this rainy day and start working on this. So before I can get the wagon into here, our sawmill building, I have to pull my new sled outside first. So this is a sled that I had rebuilt last summer, or last winter I guess it was. Can't remember when it was. And I haven't even used it yet since it's been rebuilt. I have just laid on a 2-inch plank flooring. This is going to be a work sled, but possibly even I could give some sleigh rides with it with bales of hay type of thing. But basically it's for a work sled. What this originally had on was a short tongue with a hitch so I could pull it with my cart, which works really good when I'm logging. But I wanted to have it set up this way so the horses are directly to the sled. So all I did is I took I think I started at 2.5 inches down the bigger end and went up to 2 inches at the smaller end and made a long tongue for it, and I just bolted it to the original tongue. It's a hardwood tongue and it takes very little abuse, so only being 2 inches should be perfectly fine for what I'm dealing with. So I'll have to pull this out and back the wagon in here and work on that. But before all that, we have one job here we've got to do. This is a custom order. A farmer from a few miles from here brought us some ash logs, and there's actually I think 3 more out in the pile that have to come in, and we need to saw this ash logs up, and we need to do it today. The reason we need to do it today is because it is almost going to be close to 50-day, high 40s. So it has thawed out. There's nothing frozen on these logs. And as you can see, these logs are kind of dirty. You see all the dirt on these logs? So what happens with that dirt and with my sawmill is when I drive when the blade goes into that dirt, of course, as you all realize, it completely dulls my blade really fast. If I was able to get the log up in such a way so the dirtiest part of the log comes off with the first cut, that is what I strive to do. Also, I have a debarker on my sawmill, and I will even show you. I'll saw a few logs here, and that will, especially now it's not frozen, will dig through this dirt and throw it out of the way so it doesn't hurt the blades so much. The problem is, if this is the way the blade goes in, the debarker hits it. But if all the dirt is on this side, this is the way the blade comes out. And there's no debarker on this side. Now, if this is not frozen, it will pretty well throw the dirt out along with the bark, and it doesn't dull the blade quite so much. But if this dirt is frozen, so it's frozen dirt, it will dull the blade really bad, even coming out of the log. So anyways, this is top priority for today. I do need to get it done because it's supposed to get down cold again tonight. So we'll work on this amongst all the other things we have going on today, and we'll show you some of that. Okay, so this is Baron. 1693 is what he weighed last. Oh, we have 4 more to weigh up.
It's like perfect still.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's perfect.
Come here. So here comes Earl at 1733. Oh, might seem like we're kind of jumping all over the place today. I actually went and moved the sled and the wagon. So the wagon's in the sawmill building. Wanted to get that done. It was kind of a little bit of a slowdown in the rain. I did get a little bit wet getting the junk lumber off, but that's okay. Come here. What do you weigh?
1720.
So he went down a tiny little bit. Come here. So Bree was actually weighed, we did Bree and June not too long ago, so they're probably about the same, but Bree weighed 1,300 last time. Let's see what she weighs today. Oh.
Few pounds.
I really like having some scales right here for a lot of different reasons. It's one more thing as with these young animals to teach them to go on to. And also, it's just so nice to be able to have that weight to know how they're doing. You know, are they growing? Are they losing weight? Are they gaining weight? All that good stuff. It's so good for when you're raising animals to have a good something to judge things by. So our last but not least, here's June. She weighed 1665 last time. Sorry, 665 last time. And she walked on those scales like an old pro, that's for sure.
She's just the same.
That's okay.
I lost her.
Bree is not eating grain very good for some reason. She does eat a little bit. June. But I don't know why. It's just straight oats, so it doesn't really have that great of a taste to it. So many people will feed sweet feed, which I don't. Yeah, she's not really eating that great, but she will eventually. But I'm not concerned about her not gaining weight this particular time. We also have to take some fecal samples as a regular yearly thing. This time of year, I will take some fecal samples from some of them, the two fillies for sure, and probably Bill, and send them in to be tested for worms. And then next week, or as soon as we get them back, we'll get them wormed. So, and I know she's got a little bit of worms because I saw some worms coming out of her the other day, didn't I, old girl? Anyways, she's doing great except for her extreme nervousness, and that really doesn't bother me either. I like to have a horse with a little bit of fire to him, so that's not a problem. So as you can see, the wagon is in. Got to do a little bit of cleanup on the floor with the broom. There's a bunch of screws still in the floor. These uprights are got to come out. I got to replace them, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with the rest of it. Here is our headlight that is battery controlled, you know, with the battery. And so we'll set that up also. But first, like I said, top priority is getting these logs sawed out. So I'll get that going and we'll work on that wagon. Unlike my horses, machines take some sort of fuel other than hay and grain. So if you're curious, this is a gasoline motor, not a diesel. So to flush my blade, I just use windshield washer. Sometimes I'll put a little water in with it, depends on how cold it is, just to make it last a little bit farther. And that's what I do. Some people will use different stuff in there to flush the blade with. I have used diesel fuel before, but generally I just use a water solution. And this stuff here is just to, obviously to keep it from freezing. Some species need more water than others. We'll see how the ash works. So the oil is jacked. I'll crank up the tension on the blade. Like I'd said, I've still got 3 more logs out there. I didn't put them on the deck because my bundle of slabs is going to be full before I even get these logs sawed up. So I will be able to saw the bulk of these logs and then get the others out of my way enough so that I can come in here with a skid steer and pick up this bundle of slabs and get this out of here before I bring in the last 3 logs. So the tension is up. I'll turn on my headlight here so I can see my scale board and start it up. So we are ready to saw lumber. So those logs are done. The rain is still coming down. I'll put a band around this bundle of slabwood and take it out. Grab those other 3 logs and finish that up. The ash is actually sawing out a lot better than I thought for, especially for how dirty it is. My blade's still cutting pretty good. We have a pretty good stack over here started. And still a bunch to edge. So we'll get this banded up and get it out of here. And get those other 3 logs in.
So I got the logs all sawed, and now I need to work on my wagon. I was hoping to be able to just clean this off and put some sideboards on and use the rest of the wagon as it is, but I just felt it was just too punky to be safe for our customers, and so I have decided I've got to replace this whole wagon. So because of that, it's going to take longer than we thought. Okay guys, as you can see, I'm tearing the floor off and it's pretty ripe. So I'm glad I'm doing this now. So we give sleigh rides and that's what we prefer doing, but it seems like for the past quite a few years now, we just don't have a lot of snow, especially this couple weeks before Christmas. So I have always just kind of canceled them. I don't like to use the wagon ride, but this year I am going to use the wagon, but I gotta fix it now first. So I will get this fixed up, and you would have thought for ourselves, we live in northern New York, right close to the Canadian border, and if you go south of us, they get a lot of snow down there in the Adirondacks. But for us, we live in kind of what you would call the northern or the southern edge of the St. Lawrence Valley. And so we just do not get the snow that they do south of us. So there's just times we just don't have enough snow for sleigh rides. So we got to use the wagon. And that's what we'll do. But we need to have a safe wagon for our customers. So we got to get this fixed. And we don't have a lot of time to do it in. But for today, in today's video, that's going to do it. And I will hopefully show you some updates on how this wagon progresses in the next little while. So you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time.